Holy hell, a new intro, but what's up guys, it's Velocity here from Project Velocity. Now, we're only a few days away from the next Xbox reveal, so what better way to do a Xbox versus PS3 video beforehand. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to give an overview of both of the consoles, give what I believe to be the pros and the cons of each console, and then leave it up to you the viewers to give your opinion on which one you thought won this console generation between the two. I'm going to stay fairly neutral in between, just to not cause any arguments, and because I genuinely do think that each console has a lot to offer. First, let's take a look at one of the most important aspects, the exclusive games to each console. Now, the PS3 does have more exclusive games, by quite a margin than the 360, so let's take a look at them. Now we have the Killzone series, the God of War series, Ratchet & Clank, Little Big Planet, and Uncharted. Apart from these are other big games and series such as Ni no Kuni that came out earlier this year, Infamous 1 and 2, Gran Turismo, Sly Cooper, The Last of Us due to be released in June, and more. On the Xbox side, we have such series as Gears of War, Halo, Fable, and Forza Motorsport. Other such games and series are Crackdown, Dead Rising, and Tales of Vesperia. It's important to not forget the multi-format games and the particular perks that each console may offer them. So let's just take a look at a few examples on both the PS3 and 360. The Call of Duty series has always offered Xbox 360 players all DLC a month in advance of those playing on the PS3. The Battlefield series does the opposite, giving PlayStation 3 players all DLC a week earlier than 360 players. Although down to unforeseen events, 360 players playing Skyrim got all the DLC months in advance. Assassin's Creed has been offering 60 minutes of additional gameplay, and in Assassin's Creed 3 the ability to link up with the Vita game Assassin's Creed Liberation, none of which the 360 version could do. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to compare the two online services of both the Xbox Live, and PlayStation PSN. Online services seem to sway a lot of people's choices, so we're going to go over the pros and cons and see how they match up. So, the pros are for Xbox Live. Number 1, party chat. I believe it allows up to 8 people in a group to talk together, in comparison to PSN's 2. Number 2 is the service is rarely ever down. Number 3 is it arguably has the smoothest online and the best connection. And number 4, it has wired mics, which is just the convenience of not having to charge a wireless mic all the time, and they're generally better. The cons are that, and the biggest one that will turn people away mostly to PSN, is the cost. To play any video game online, you have to pay £35 per year / $55, which is quite a lot to ask of somebody who may not have that much money. The second con is adverts. The dashboard does seem to be absolutely littered with adverts. It seems to be impossible to get away from, and yeah, in comparison to PSN, there seems to be a lot of them. For PSN, the pros are free online, something that is really important to some people, over the 360's cost model, and this obviously will save a lot of money for some people. Next is PlayStation Plus, which is fantastic. It costs exactly the same as Xbox Live Gold, but instead of paying to just play online, you're actually paying to get a ton of free games each month. By far the best service I've seen, the best thing they've ever added. Third is better deals generally. The PlayStation Store seems to have a lot better offers and deals compared to the 360. The con, and this is quite a big con for me, is that the service has a lot of downtime through maintenance or through the unfortunate hacks, which again is kind of out of their control, but it's something that the 360's never had to deal with. I can't remember a time really that the 360's ever been down, whereas I can recall quite a few times with the PS3. Something else that has swayed console choice decisions is the controller. Ultimately, they both have their pros and cons, so let's take a look at them. The 360 controller has a better, more ergonomic feel to it and is slightly more suited to bigger hands, whereas the PS3 controller is smaller and lighter. Which one will suit you is more down to personal preference. The offset analog sticks and trigger buttons at the back are the 360's best feature, most suited to shooting games. The D-pad is by far the biggest con, feeling unresponsive and clunky. The PS3 on the other hand has the perfect D-pad, easy to reach, very responsive and perfect for fighting games, and the face buttons seem to have a much better feel to them. The trigger buttons aren't quite as nice as the 360, as they are not curved, however. Lastly, we come down to the current prices of the consoles. The two current most popular models where I live are the Xbox 360 Slim 250GB and the PS3 Super Slim 500GB. PS3 costing around £200 with the 500GB hard drive, and 360 costing around £190 with the 250GB. With the bigger hard drive and the free online, the PS3 ultimately gives you very slightly more for your money. It's important to note that for quite a few years the 360 was much cheaper than the PS3. The consoles are very closely priced at the moment, so again it comes down to personal preference of which console you prefer, as neither has a massive lead in this regard. That's it for now. Thanks for watching this versus of two current gen consoles. After watching this video, who do you think won? Which console did you pick, and if you could pick again, would you change your mind? Thanks again, and I'll see you after the Xbox reveal for all the information next week.